जय गरुड सुपर्णा।
श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्य कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि वेदान्तदेशिकयतीन्द्रकटाक्षलब्धत्रय्यन्तसारमणबध्यगुणं बुधाक्रयम् नारायणाद्य यतितुर्यकृपाभिषिक्तं श्रीरङ्गनाथ यतिशेखरमाश्रयामः। श्रीमते श्रीवंशडकोप श्रीरङ्गनाथ यतीन्द्रमहादेशिकाय नमः। श्रीकृष्णमार्यं करुणालयन्तं वेदान्तयुग्मं समदीतवन्तं वत्साभिजातं विदुषां वरेण्यं श्रीभाष्यसिंहं प्रणमामि नित्यं। श्रीमते वात्स्य श्रीकृष्णमार्य महादेशिकाय नमः। वात्स्य श्रीकृष्ण सूरीन्द्र पदपङ्कज षट्पदम् अनन्तपद्मनाभार्यं भारद्वाजमहं भजे। श्रीमते अनन्तपद्मनाभार्य महादेशिकाय नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः।
Today I am very happy to share an interesting topic called an Antevasi's Navavida Bhakti. The 9 forms of devotion or Navavida Bhakti are a beautiful way to show different ways to connect with Supreme Paramatma. Each of these 9 forms of Bhakti represents a special and very close relationship between Paramatma and a Jivatma. This is a way how a particular devotee connects with the Supreme Perumal. In Srimad Bhagavatam, the 9 forms of devotion are described as follows. Prahaladan says, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnorsmaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. Here, Shravanam refers to listening to stories and praises of Bhagavan with love. Kirtanam refers to singing about Bhagavan's greatness with devotion. Vishnorsmaranam, always remembering and thinking about Mahavishnu. Padasevanam, worshipping and serving the feet of Paramatma. Archanam, performing rituals and offering prayers to the Lord. Vandanam, bowing down and respecting Bhagavan. Dasyam, serving Perumal as a very humble servant. Sakyam, being a very true friend to Paramatma. Atmanivedanam, surrendering completely to the Supreme Paramatma, offering oneself to Him. These 9 ways show how a devotee can love and serve God in a different and personal ways. Our Itihasa Puranas explain Navavida Bhakti in a very beautiful, interesting way. For example, Shravanam in Ramayanam is shown by Hanuman, Kirtanam by Valmiki, Smaranam by Sita, Padasevanam by Bharata, Archanam by Shabari, Vandanam by Vibhishana, Dasyam by Lakshmana, Sakyam by Sugriva, Atmanivedanam by Jatayu. If we look into Bhagavatam, Shravanam is shown by Parikshit. He listened to the Krishna Katha from Shukabrahma Maharishi. Kirtanam by Vyasa and also Shukabrahmam, who sang praises of Mahavishnu. Smaranam by Prahalada, constantly remembering Hari. Padasevanam, Mahalakshmi served Mahavishnu's holy feet. Archanam, Prithu Maharaj worshipped Mahavishnu through yagas and yajnas. Vandanam, Akrura offered his namaskaram to Krishna. Dasyam, Hanuman served Rama. We can also see Dasyam in Vidura. Sakyam, Arjuna shared a very deep friendship with Krishna. Atmanivedanam, Bali Maharaj surrendered everything including himself to Vamana. Thus, our Itihasas and Puranas are practical testimony to what is known as Navavida Bhakti. Now let's dig deeper into what is the boundary for this Navavida Bhakti. Does this Navavida Bhakti stop just with showing our Bhakti towards Paramatma? Is that the greatest Navavida Bhakti? Is that the boundary that is Yellai Nilam for Navavida Bhakti? The Navavida Bhakti doesn't stop with just showcasing it to Paramatma. The 9 types of devotion towards Paramatma can also be extended to the Bhagavatas, that is the devotees of Bhagavan. Bhagavad Bhakti in Yellai Nilam, Bhagavata Bhakti. Most important is that true Shishya shows all these 9 forms of Bhakti towards his Acharya. Swami Desigan in Srimad Rahasyatraya Saram Guru Parampara Saram quotes, Gurum prakashayed dhiman mantram yatnena gopayed aprakasha prakashabhyam chiyete sampadayushi. That it is a responsibility of a Sishya to hail about the Acharya and at the same time protect the mantra that has been done as a Upadesam by the Acharya to the Sishya. Now, I'm going to explain to you the various forms in which my Acharyan, Sri A.P.N. Swami, showed this Navavida Bhakti towards his Acharyan, Sri Purusai Swami. Let's start with listening, which is Shravanam. Yatra yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam, Tatra Tatra Kritamastakāñjalim, Bashpavari Paripurna Lochanam, Marutim Namata Rakshasantakam. This is how Hanuman showcased his Shravana Bhakti towards Rama. The same attitude of Shravanam, that is deep listening, is seen in A.P.N. Swami when he listens to the teachings and glories of Purusai Swami. There's a very interesting photograph of Sri Purusai Swami's Kalaksheba Goshti, where one can see Sri A.P.N. Swami sitting just next to him under his holy feet, eagerly listening to Purusai Swami's teachings. That was Sri A.P.N. Swami listening to his Acharyan Purusai Swami as a student. But recently, during Purusai Swami's 100th Trinakshatram, A.P.N. Swami arranged for all the Vidwans and Sishyas to speak about the greatness of Purusai Swami, and Sri A.P.N. Swami derived immense joy in listening to all of them speak about the greatness of his Acharya Purusai Swami. A.P.N. Swami, even today, dedicates a very significant part of his time in restoring and digitalizing old recordings of Purusai Swami, ensuring that he continues to listen to his Acharya's teaching every day. So thus, we can see how Sri A.P.N. Swami has been exhibiting the Shravana Bhakti, listening to Sri Purusai Swami's teachings and his glories even today. Next is Kirtanam, which is singing. Kujantam Rama Rameti Maduram Maduraksharam Aruhya Kavita Shakam Vande Valmiki Kokilam. Rama, Rama, Rama was the chanting which was done by the cuckoo called Valmiki. Just as Valmiki sang praise of Lord Rama through Adi Kavyam Ramayanam, Sri A.P.N. Swami continues to praise Purusai Swami every day. A Sishya offering a Taniyan to an Acharyan is a way to express love and devotion towards the Acharyan. A.P.N. Swami has authored a Taniyan, Shri Krishnavaryam Karunalayantam Vedanta Yukmam Samaditavantam Vatsabhijatam Vidusham Parenyam Shri Bhashya Simham Pranamami Nityam, in praise of Purusai Swami. This Taniyan, composed by A.P.N. Swami, was very deeply cherished and accepted by Purusai Swami himself. Shri A.P.N. Swami had requested that the sloga should be recited as a Taniyan of Purusai Swami. However, since an ancient Taniyan was already in place and it was in practice, Purusai Swami blessed A.P.N. Swami by permitting to recite this new sloka during A.P.N. Swami's discourses. You can see that every Upanyasams and Kalakshebam by Sri A.P.N. Swami begins with this wonderful sloka. For us, Sishyas of A.P.N. Swami, this Taniyan on Purusai Swami written by A.P.N. Swami is our Taraka Mantram, a guiding mantra. We begin everything, big or small, by reciting this holy sacred verse, Shri Krishnamaryam Karunalayantam. Furthermore, Sri A.P.N. Swami has also composed 5 slokas in praise of Sri Purusai Swami, known as Guru Stavamala, also known as Acharya Panchakam. This was also accepted by Purusai Swami, and this was published as part of the Sri Ranga Vijayam book, which was written by Purusai Swami. It is indeed a great bhagyam for Sishyas like us to listen how Purusai Swami accepted Gurustava Mala written by A.P.N. Swami. A.P.N. Swami had also authored Padyamalika or Purusai Swami, and it was submitted to the scholars during Chitrabhanu Varsham Kartigai month on the occasion of Sri Purusai Swami's Shubhashrikaram on December 3rd, 2002. Padyamalika starts as Shri Ranga Shadajit Yogi Yativarya Padashrayam Sarasara Vivekagnyam Vande Vatsa Vibhushanam. Padyamalika comprises 16 slokas with the last one ending as Krishnamarya Padamboje Kripatasyavalambina Vringena Padmanabhena Padyamala Samarpita. Even today, we can see how Apian Swami continues to practice Kirtanam Bhakti by singing praise of Puruse Swami in various ways, especially through these shlokas called Gurustava Mala and Padyamalika. Next, moving on to Smaranam, which is remembrance. If there was one thing which Sita did in Ashokavana, it was nothing but Smaranam, which is constant remembrance of Rama. Valmiki says, Ekasta Hridayanunam Ramamevanu Pashyati. Her heart was firmly fixed on Rama alone, seeing nothing but him, her focus completely on Rama, Rama and Rama. While explaining this verse, Sita Samsmarane, Sri Apian Swami gave a beautiful explanation once. When Sita and Rama separated, what Rama did was Smaranam of Sita. What Sita did was Samsmaranam, that is continuous thinking of Rama. This deep connection, this deep bhakti can also be equated to the relationship between Puruse Swami and Apian Swami. Today, Apian Swami continues to do Smaranam of Puruse Swami, and all the Anugraham Apian Swami receives is due to the loving kataksham that Puruse Swami continues to shower upon Apian Swami even today. There has not been a single Kalaksheba session under Apian Swami where he has not spoken about Puruse Swami, be it his style of Vyakyanams, his Prabhavams, or his humble yet majestic Vaibhavams. Sri Apian Swami has the practice of not only remembering Puruse Swami, but also keeping everything and anything related to Puruse Swami in constant Smaranam. Valmiki says, Samipam Rajasimhasya Ramasya Viditatmanaha Sankalpa Ayasamyuktaihi Yantimiva Manorataihi. That Sita, while in Ashokavana, transported herself mentally near Raghava Simham Rama, using her mind as a chariot and her thoughts about Rama as horses. Similarly, Sri Apian Swami transports himself very close to his Acharyan, Sri Bhashya Simham Puruse Swami, by reciting Taniyan, Gurustavamala, Padyamalika, and by reading his commentaries like Sukhabodhini. Apian Swami leads as an example in showcasing Smarana Bhakti, that is remembering one's Acharya through their Taniyan and getting close to them through their commentaries. Next is Pada Sevanam, which is serving the holy feet. Bharata serves Ram's feet. Valmiki says, Ebishcha Sachivai Sardam Shirasa Yachito Maya. Bharata seeks Ram's holy feet again and again, says Valmiki. In fact, Ram, while speaking to Vibhishana, acknowledges how Bharata prostrated at his holy feet with his head bowed down at Chitrakoot. Bharata not only served Ram's holy feet, but also served the sacred Padukas, which are even more superior than Lord Rama himself. Valmiki hails Bharata getting Rama Paduka as Adiroharya Padabhyam Paduke Hemabhushite Etehi Sarvalokasya Yogakshemam Vidasyataha. It is because of this reason Swami Desikan hails in Paduka Sahasram the greatness of Bharata as Bharataya Param Namostu Tasmai Pratamodaharanaya Bhakti Bhajam Yedupagnyam Aseshataf Prativyam Pradito Raghava Paduka Prabhavaha. It is due to this greatness Bharata was granted the Makuta Dvayam, says Bhojan in Champuramayanam. Such is the supreme significance of Pada Sevanam, that is serving the holy feet, and Paduka Sevanam, serving the divine sandals of the Lord. This great quality of Bharata can also be seen in Sri Apian Swami, who served Puruse Swami as an Antevasi, performing many Antaranga Kaingaryams for Sri Puruse Swami, that too tirelessly day and night. Like how Ram acknowledged Bharatan's Kainkaryam, Puruse Swami himself has acknowledged that Apian Swami was an Antevasi doing many Kainkaryam, in the forward section of his commentary for Sribhashyam known as Sukhabodhini. Appian Swami used to perform Pada Sevanam to Purushe Swami by applying oil and giving him a gentle massage every night. Once, while Appian Swami was massaging Sri Purushe Swami's holy feet, Purushe Swami asked him to stand on his leg and continue the massage. Appian Swami seems to have hesitated, unwilling to do so. But Purushe Swami reassured him by saying, Adiyarkku ennai aatpadutha Vimalan, emphasizing that Lord himself submits to his devotees. Hearing this, Sri Appian Swami obeyed and performed the Kaingiryam as instructed by Purushe Swami. Appian Swami had also had the great bhagyam of receiving Paduka of Purushe Swami from Purushe Swami himself, which he worships daily with all upacharams, including Argyam Padyam, every day. This reflects the Pada Sevanam and the Paduka Sevanam that Appian Swami faithfully follows for Purushe Swami. Next is Archanam, which is worship. Shabari is known for her Anushtanam, that is spiritual discipline, Acharya Bhakti, devotion towards the preceptor, and the way she worshipped Rama. Valmiki states that Rama was well worshipped and honored by Shabari. Rama himself acknowledges by saying, Architoyam Tvaya Bhaktya, Kachakamam Yatasukam. One can see the same dedication to Anushtanam, Acharya Bhakti, and Aradhanam in Sri Appian Swami also. His way of worshipping Purushe Swami is truly unique. There has not been a single day when Appian Swami has not worshipped Purushe Swami. Appian Swami played a key role in organizing and making arrangements for Purushe Swami's 80th Trinakshatra celebrations. He often shares with deep emotion that he had missed the opportunity to perform the Kanakabhishekam for Swami due to financial constraints at that time. But he also expresses that if he had the opportunity to do that today, he would surely do it with great, grand celebration. After Purushe Swami attained Acharyan Tiruvadi, the daily Aradhanam for Sri Purushe Swami's Paduka has become part of Sri Appian Swami's routine. He lights Tiruvalakku in front of Swami's photo and chair every morning and evening. Every belonging of Purushe Swami, his books, shawl, spectacles, lenses, chair, etc. are worshipped by Appian Swami every day, even today. We can see Appian Swami celebrating Sri Purushe Swami's Trinakshatram every year with so much enthusiasm. Even during the 100th Trinakshatram of Purushe Swami, Sri Appian Swami had organized a year-long celebration with grand Parayanam, Satrumurai on every Chitrai Nakshatra. Like this, we can see the Archanam Bhakti towards Purushe Swami exhibited by Appian Swami in multiple ways. Next is Vandanam, which is salutation. Vibhishana left everything, his land, family, belongings, and he seeked the holy feet of Rama, showcasing his Vandana Bhakti towards Rama. Valmiki explains this as Saturamasya Dharmatma Nipapata Vibhishanaha Padayo Sharananveshi Chaturbis Saha Rakshasaihi. Kamban also quotes this as Dharmamum Jnanamum Tavamum Veliyai Maruva Arum Perumayum Porayum Vailai Karunayam Koyilul Irunda Kandanai Arul Neri Eidich Chendru Adi Vananginan. Meaning, Vibhishana followed the path of Sharanagati and bowed at the feet of Rama. Similarly, Sri Appian Swami went and sought Krishnamari Mahadesigan, Sri Purushe Swami, who is an embodiment of compassion, as in his Taniyan, Sri Krishnamaryam Karunalayantam, and also in Irshya Damba Vivarjitam Shubhagunaihi Pantam Mahatvam Shajam. Like how Vibhishana seeked Karunayam Koyililirunda Kannan, who is Ram, here Sri Appian Swami went and seeked Krishnamari Mahadesigan, Sri Purushe Swami. It seems Purushe Swami used to say that on seeing elders, one needs to do Dandavat Pranamam like Bharadan. The example which Purushe Swami used to give is like how an inspector general being saluted by a constable involuntarily, we need to do Dandavat Pranamam on seeing our elders. Sri Apian Swami continues to practice this all through his life. Sri Apian Swami had the practice of doing Namaskaram to Purusai Swami every morning and evening. He often says that there might have been days when he did not learn from Swami, but not a single day has passed in his life as a Sishya of Purusai Swami without offering Namaskaram to him. Apian Swami used to say this as, Dinamum Purusai Swami kitta vasichiya அப்படின்னா இல்லன்னு சொல்லுவேன். ஆனா சுவாமிய தினமும் சேவிச்சியா என்று கேட்டா கண்டிப்பா சேவிச்சிருக்கேன். This offering of Namaskaram was never compromised by Apian Swami while his stay in Chennai. Apian Swami states that Purusai Swami's blessing is all that has brought him so much mangalam to his life. Every day, before beginning any work, Apian Swami starts with Vandanam, Namaskaram to Sri Purusai Swami's photo. This is something we Sishya observe even today. It is said that whenever Bhishma heard Vyasa's name, he would immediately raise his hands and do Namaskaram. A similar practice and Acharya Bhakti can be seen in Apian Swami. Even today, whenever Swami passes Sri Purusai Swami's Tirumaligai, he offers Namaskaram. Swami Desikan states in Sampradaya Parishuddhi that one should show the same devotion to an Acharyan's family. Sri Apian Swami follows this even today by showcasing his deep respect and devotion to everyone associated to Purusai Swami, especially Purusai Swami's Tirukumarar and their family. Moving on to Dasyam, which is servitude. Lakshmana is the embodiment of servitude, Dasya Bhavam, towards Rama. The very purpose of Ilaya Perumal's avataram was to serve Rama in every possible way. Lakshmana, the Ilaya Perumal, told Rama, the Perumal, that he would always be at his service day and night, saying, Aham sarvam karishyami jagrata swapatashyate. Similarly, Krishna, that is Apian Swami, was fully dedicated to serving Vatsa Shri Krishnamare Mahadesigan, engaging in 24/7 Kaingiryam. Apian Swami had the great opportunity to be with Purusai Swami, assisting him from morning to night through various Kaingiryam such as Venneer Kaingiryam, Vastra Kaingiryam and many more. Many Kalakshebams and Kli learnings took place during these moments of service. Like Lakshmana's unwavering dedication to Rama, Sri Apian Swami tirelessly performed numerous Antaranga Kaingaryams as an Antevasi. Recognizing his devotion, Purusai Swami himself mentioned in the foreword of his Sri Bhashyam called Sukapodini that Apian Swami was a true Antevasi, wholeheartedly committed to Kaingaryam. Purusai Swami once shared with everyone that the most mischievous Sishya was Krishna, who is Apian Swami. However, he also added that nothing works for him without Krishna. Such was the Dasya Bhavam of Apian Swami towards Purusai Swami. Sakyam, which is friendship. In Ramayana, after building the bridge to Lanka, that is Setu Bandhanam, Vibhishana joins Rama preparing for war. During that battle, Sugriva bravely attacks Ravana, strikes him and he returns. Seeing this, Rama becomes very worried and asks Sugriva why he took such a big risk. He tells Sugriva that if had anything happened to Sugriva, life would have no meaning. Even Sita, Bharata and Lakshmana would not matter to Rama. Rama says, Tvayi kinchit samapanne kim karyam Sitaya mama. This shows Rama's deep love and friendship for Sugriva. Similar to this, I would like to quote an incident. Once, Apian Swami and Purusai Swami were tirelessly working day and night on the second chapter of Sri Bhashyam. The date for the book release was also fast approaching. During this period, as in Balastavat Krida Saktaha, Apian Swami went on a scooter to have darshan of Kanchi Varadan. On the way, there was an accident and it was shown on TV. Purusai Swami became extremely anxious and stayed awake the entire night. When Appian Swami finally returned the next morning with a deep emotion in his voice, Purusai Swami said, Tvai kinchit samapanne kim karyam mama. Ennada, if something happens to you, what is the point of me completing Shribhashyam? Purusai Swami further reminded Appian Swami by saying, Sahasam ma kuru. Do not act recklessly like this. This heartfelt moment showed Sri Purusai Swami's deep care not just for knowledge but for also the well-being of his dear disciples. Sri Appian Swami always recollects this incident saying, Gunair dasyamupagataha, that Sri Appian Swami is a dasan of Purusai Swami's gunas. Purusai Swami always wanted his Sishya, that is Krishna, to start delivering Upanyasams. The friendly conversation between them, Yeppa kada vekka pora, and the reply by Appian Swami to Purusai Swami, all ready, ribbon cut panna neenga dhaan vara vendum. This shows the friendly, cordial relationship this Guru and the Sishya had among themselves. Purusai Swami and his Sishya, Appian Swami, shared a very strong bond of friendship in discussing Laukika aspects too. It seems Purusai Swami used to keep newspaper clippings ready for Appian Swami to use in his Upanyasams that evening. It is quite apt to say that Purusai Swami was a great friend, philosopher and guide for Appian Swami. Last but not the least, Atma Nivedanam, which is self-surrender. In the Ramayana, Jatayu performed Atma Samarpanam, that is Nivedanam, to Rama in his final moments, recited Ramanama and attained Sadgati, which is liberation. Jatayu dedicated his entire life to Sita Rama Kainkaryam. Because of this, Valmiki hails Jatayu as Shriman. Jatayu stands as a shining example of Atma Nivedanam, complete self-surrender. Purusai Swami is everything to Appian Swami. Initially, Appian Swami didn't even know how to approach Purusai Swami and request to become his Shishya. One fine day, as instructed by Purusai Swami, Appian Swami surrendered to his Acharya by saying, Shishyasteham Shadimam Tvam Prapannam. I am your disciple. Instruct me. I surrender to you. From that day onwards, Purusai Swami became Dharaka, Poshaka, Bhogya for Appian Swami. Everything Appian Swami does is performed as a niyamanam of Purusai Swami, and all his actions are offered as a kaingaryam to Purusai Swami. Appian Swami's Atmavara Samarpanam was also done as per Purusai Swami's Thiruvullam. At this juncture, I would like to quote another interesting relationship between this Acharya and Sishya. Swami Desikan in Paduka Sahasram quotes, Ante vasanna charamasya kavesa yogi vanyan pragrihya vividan upada visheshan atastu shim pragukulochitam upavahyam pratyujjagama bhavatim bharatopanitam. In this verse, Swami Desikan is referring to Maharishi Valmiki and his Sishya Maharishi Bharadwaj. While referring to Maharishi Bharadwaj, Swami Desikan quotes him as an Antevasi, a resident disciple of Valmiki. Maharishi Bharadwaj hailed from Bharadwaja Gotram and Valmiki hailed from Shivatsa Gotram. And the title Antevasi to Bharadwaja Maharishi explains the greatness of his Acharya Kaingaryam. Similarly, Appian Swami, born in Bharadwaja Gotram, served for 8 years as an Antevasi of Vatsya Sri Krishnamarya Mahadesikan Sri Purusai Swami, who hailed from Shivatsa Gotram. The Ramayana, composed by Valmiki Maharishi, was scribed, that is, Pattole was done by his disciple Bharadwaja Maharishi. Likewise, the commentary Sukhabodhini on the second chapter of Shribhashyam, bestowed by Sri Purusai Swami, was scribed by his disciple Appian Swami. As a testimony to this Acharya Kainkaryam, Sri Purusai Swami refers to his disciple Krishna as Antevasi in the second chapter of his Shribhashya Vyakhyana Bhumikai. In spite of having many titles and honors, Sri Appian Swami always likes to be referred to as Antevasi of Purusai Swami. The very term Antevasi reflects Appian Swami's Acharya Kainkaryam towards Purusai Swami and his unconditional bhakti towards Purusai Swami. It is a delight for Sishyas like us to hear Appian Swami speak, hail the praises of Purusai Swami. It is truly a bhagyam for Appian Swami's Sishyas to be associated with such a revered Acharyan who himself is a devoted Shishya of Purusai Swami. Every word in the Padya Malika on Purusai Swami, authored by Appian Swami, beautifully reflects this unwavering devotion. Today is Vaigasi Mirugashirisham, Trinakshatram of Sri Appian Swami. On this auspicious day, I am very happy to have spoken and shared few words about my Pracharyan and about my Acharyan. It is my Parama Bhagyam, the greatest blessing, to contemplate and do Chintanam on this revered Acharya-Sishya relationship and the Navabadha Bhakti showcased by Appian Swami towards Purusai Swami. Vatsya Shri Krishnamari Mahadeshikaya Namaha. Asmat Gurupyo Namaha. Adiyen Sri Ranjani Jagannathan, Sri Appian Swami's Kalaksheba Shishai and Saran Sevak. Danyasmi.